Hey guys, welcome to another math lesson with HeyCam Math and Science. This video is about box plots, and the learning intention for this lesson is to understand how a box plot is used. And hopefully by the end of this lesson, you guys are all able to read summary statistics from a box plot and finally can construct a box plot. So just pause the video here and take a couple of minutes to write these down. Alright, so let's start off by going through what a box plot is. A box plot, also often known as a box and whisker plot, is a graph which shows the maximum and minimum values. So on this sample graph down here, the maximum will be on the very right there, and the minimum will be on the very left over here. The median is also shown here, that's Q2, this point there, right there. I'll just point an arrow to it, that line there. It's a little bit off, sorry about that. And the lower and upper quartiles, that's the lower quartile here, Q1 range to that point, and Q3 that point here. So Q1 and Q3 are the outsides of the boxes, Q2 is the line through the box, and the minimum and maximum are on either end of the plot. So once again, lower quartile is often known as Q1, upper quartile is often known as Q3, and the median is often called Q2. Alright, so that's pretty much all you need to know about box plots. So let's have a go at this sample question here. This box plot summarizes the price of all the books in a shop. State the minimum and maximum book prices. So remember, minimum and maximum is on either end of the plot. So minimum will be over here, that is 5. I'll write that as here. A min equals 5 and max equals, on the other end, maximum equals 50. Alright, the next question says find the range of the book prices. So range, if you remember, range just meant range is the maximum minus the minimum, and maximum here was 50, minimum here is 5, so that means the range is 45. Alright, let's have a go at the next one. C, state the median book price. Remember, median was just the line in the box, so that means median was 20. Let's go to D, find the interquartile range. So you should have learned this in the chapter before. Interquartile was Q3, the upper quartile, minus Q1, the lower quartile, so that's 35. Over here, minus 15. So quickly do that, that should give you 20. So the IQR, I should have labeled that, IQR equals 20. So next question, 50% of the books are priced below what amount? So in this question, we'll be looking at the median as an indicator. 50% of the data lies below the median, so to the left, and 50% is to the right or higher than the median. So that means 50% of the books are priced below $20 there. So let's have a go at the next question. 25% of the books are priced above what amount? So remember, a box and whisker plot can be divided into 4 sections, and 25% of data lies in each one of them. So we have Q1, Q2, Q3, and so there's 25% of the data there, 25 in between here, in between Q1 and Q2, 25 again in between Q2 and Q3, and another 25 above Q3. So that means 25% of the books are priced above what amount, and that we'll look at Q3 for that one. That means 25% of the data is above $35. And moving on to the last question, if there were 1,000 books in the store, how many would be priced below $15? So $15 is Q1 here, the lower quartile, so that means there's 25% of the books below that. So we know that there's 25% below, but we don't know how many. It tells us there's a total of 1,000 books, so we need to find 25% of 1,000. And we can just do that by dividing it by 4, because we're getting a quarter. That means, let's quickly do this. 4 goes into 10 twice, with the remainder of 2. 4 goes into 25 times, and 4 goes into 0 times. That means 250 books are priced below $15. Alright, now it's your turn. Pause the video here, have a couple of minutes to go through these questions by yourself, and just unpause them when you want to go through them with me. Alright, starting off with the first question, state the minimum and maximum number of units sold in a day. That's pretty straightforward. Look at either end of the box plot. So that will be minimum equals 0 and max equals 30. Alright, now question B. We learnt what a range is. So range was max minus minimum, and we worked that out over here. So that would just be 30 minus 0. So the range equals 30. Let's go to the next question now. Question C, state the median number of sales. So you're just looking for the line in the box. That is 15. And remember, that's also also known as Q2. Moving on to question D, find the interquartile range. So we need to look at either end of the boxes. That's Q3 upper quartile, that's Q1 or the lower quartile. So IQR equals 25 minus 10 in this case, and that will give you a value of 15. Moving on to question E, 50% of days had sales below what number? Remember, 50% lies on the left of the median and 50% lies on the right of the median. So that means we'll be looking for the median here. And so 50% of days had sales below this number here. That will be 15. Alright, moving on to the next question. Question F. 25% of days had sales above what number? Once again, 25% lies on each of these parts. So 25 below Q1, 25 between Q1 and Q2, 25 between Q2 and Q3, and 25 above Q3. So we'll be looking for Q3 in this case. And so 25% lies above Q3, that will be above 25. And going to the last question, if there were 80 days of sales, on how many days were there fewer than 10 sales? So remember, 25% lies below here. So we have, if there were 80 days of sales, how many days were there fewer than 10 sales? So we need to find 25% of 80. 80, if you want to find 25%, we can just divide it by 4. That will give us 20. Sorry, it's a little bit messy. So in the end, we have 20 days fewer, I'll write this in full sentences, than 10 sales. Give yourself a tick for each one you got correct here. Alright, now moving on to the next question. The following set of data represents the 11 scores resulting from throwing 2 dice and adding their scores. Alright, so this question is about drawing a box plot, and in order to draw a box plot we need all these points here: the minimum, maximum, medium, lower quartile and upper quartile. When we're given a set of data like this to draw a box plot, the first thing we need to do is order the data in ascending order or from lowest to highest. So let's have a go at that first. Our lowest number I can see here is 4, next one is 5, and then I can see 2 6s, and then I can see 2 7s, and there's an 8 and a 9. I forgot one 8, looks like it. I'll just change that to an 8. So 8, 8, 9, 10 and 12. Alright, so the minimum and maximum is pretty straightforward, just the lowest and the highest number, so I'll just write that down. Minimum is 4, maximum is 12. And let's go to the median now. So the median is the middle number, so you can work this out by just crossing off on either end until you get to the middle. So I'll just quickly do that. I forgot to cross that 8 out, so I'll do that now, and I'm left with a 7 as the median. Alright, now to find the lower and upper quartile, we just need to find the median of what's left. So that pretty much means for the lower quartile, I need to find the median in between these numbers. And for the upper quartile, I need to find the median again in between these numbers. Let's do that here. For the lower quartile, I'll cross off from either end again. So that one there, and I'm left with the 6. So the median here is 6. The lower quartile, sorry, is 6. And the upper quartile, I'll just cross off on either end again. There we go, and I can see it is 9. So the upper quartile is 9, whilst the lower quartile is 6. Now we've got all the data we need, I can draw a box plot. First step is to draw the scale. Sorry, I don't have a ruler on me. Please make sure you have a ruler when you're drawing this though. And I'll need to draw the points below first. So I'll start, always go 1 below and 1 higher, the minimum and maximum. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Looks like I'm gonna run out of space. 12. I'll just make the line a little bit longer. 12 and 13. There we go. Start off with the minimum. We have minimum was 4. Got that there. Maximum was 13. The median I have was 7, so I'll draw the line at 7. Lower quartile was 6, so the outside of the box is over there, and the upper quartile was 9, so the other outside of the box was there. And we'll just draw a box here, that, and draw lines connecting to the minimum and the maximum. So this is what your box plot should look like for this question. Just make sure it's a bit neater than the one I've got here. Alright, now moving on to the next question. It's your turn. Just pause the video here and have a go at these ones by yourself, and just unpause them when you're ready to go through them with me. Alright, so once again, remember the first step when drawing a box plot is to reorder the data from lowest to highest. So I'll just start off with that. Lowest I can see, I missed the 2. I'll draw that there. I'll write that there. 2, 3, 3. Next I think I can see is 4. And then next lowest is 5. So I can see 3 of those. 5, 5, 5. And then I can see 6. I can see 3 more 6s. And then I can see 2 7s. And I can see 2 8s, and I think that's it. Alright, now that we've done that, we can find all this data much easier. The minimum value and the maximum, once again, pretty straightforward. Minimum is 2, maximum is 8, so we've done that. And the median, just the middle value again. Let's have a go at that. Cross off either end. Actually, I'll do the other method this time. You can cross off either end, that works perfectly fine, but when you got bigger numbers, I like to use a different method. So first step in doing the other method is counting how many values there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 values. We're going to add 1 to that and then divide it by 2. So this formula can also be written as n plus 1 over 2. Number of values plus 1 divided by 2. That gives me 16 divided by 2, which gives me 8. That means the 8th value here is going to be the median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your median there. So this is just an easier way to find the median. So that means the median is going to equal 6. I'll just write that there. Moving on to the next one, the lower quartile. Remember, it's just the median from everything on the left of the median. So I'll just do that. I'll use the original method this time. Q1, or the lower quartile, is going to be what was it again? It was going to be 4. Sorry about that. And upper quartile, or Q3, is going to be, I'll just quickly do that, is going to be 7. Alright, so give yourself a tick for each one you got correct so far, and just remember, let your teacher know if you do have any questions. Alright, now question B, draw a box plot to represent the data. So you've got all the data now. I'll just draw a scale again. Let's just go from 1 to 9. Hopefully this line's big enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that was plenty big. I'll just draw that around here. Alright, so the minimum value was 2. That's our first point. Maximum was 8. So line's going to go from 2 to 8. Let's go with the median now. The median was 6, so our middle line is going to be there. Lower quartile was 4, so the outside of our box is going to be at 4, and the upper quartile was 7, so the outside of our box is going to be there. So this is what your box plot should roughly look like. Sorry about the very wavy box. I'm doing the best I can without a ruler. So yep, give yourself a tick if you got that one correct as well. Alright, so that brings us to the end of our video on box plots. Hopefully you guys do know what a box plot is now and can draw one. So by now you guys should be able to read summary statistics from a box plot and finally be able to construct a box plot. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys all back online.